You're welcome to Inside Real Estate. My name is Lekon, and today we want to look at the changes that are occurring in the Lagos rental market. The Lagos State government states that it's working on how rent can be collected on a monthly basis, in other words, monthly rental scheme, which is on the surface a good idea. So today we want to dive deep into it and let's expose it and see, or rather, let's probe it. Let's probe that idea today and see if indeed it's really going to be worth it to the common man and to everybody who is renting a property in Lagos State. So once again, if you like the content you've been receiving from this channel, I want you to like, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your contacts and your friends. Perhaps they will get some information or get something that they will need and will use in their own real estate journey. Let's go straight to it. So when we say monthly rental scheme, currently in Lagos, what is obtainable or what is popular, not just in Lagos, but in Nigeria in general, is people paying rent in a year advance. All right. So they pay rents 1 year in advance. But because of the current situation of the economy and the outcry of the people, I think Lagos State government has decided to take a stand to at least help people. And one of those stands is by proposing or working on a way whereby rent can be collected on a monthly basis, which seems like a good idea. So what are the advantages of taking rent on a monthly basis? The first one is flexibility. I mean, it's going to be flexible. There's going to be that ease. I don't have to pay a lump sum at once. I can be paying it on a monthly basis. So especially now for salary earners, this scheme can work. There are those who do monthly contributions. There are those who could take a loan, based, and they know how they can actually appropriate it when their salary comes in. So it works very well for salary earners, and there is that flexibility in payment. Okay? But for the business owners, the guys who don't have a 9-to-5 job, the guys who have to trade something to earn something. So this is going to be a little bit dicey and difficult for some of you. All right. Those entrepreneurs. So it means that you must be saving months ahead for the rainy day, because the days will come in your business when it will seem as if nothing is working. At those days, how do you earn or how do you fetch money to be able to pay for your rent? In terms of the advantage that it carries, yes, it carries a flexibility advantage, which is very, very good. All right. Another advantage that it has, lower upfront costs, which means what you have to pay upfront is low. Most likely, at least as it's done in many advanced countries, is that people pay 2 months before moving in. So they pay 1 month and they pay the other month. They pay 1 month, then they pay the other month as a deposit or security deposit. Now, compared to somebody having to pay 1 year, I think this upfront cost seems way fairer, cheaper, and easier to bear. Okay, so we can see that the scheme actually, in a way, the monthly rental scheme, in a way, seems to make sense. Is there any other advantage to it? Of course. Short-term commitment. Yeah, that is another one. Short-term commitment. So people can try neighborhoods. So with this rent now, gone are the days where somebody will have to stay in a place or a particular location for 5 years, for 4 years, 5 years before they decide and are able to move out. You could just move into a place, and after 2 months or 3 months, if you don't like it, because you're paying on a monthly basis, you can decide to leave that area and choose a new location, as long as you are not comfortable with that location anymore. So you are not tied for the long term. You just have short-term commitments. Now, this is very good for bachelors and spinsters and frequent travelers. For family people, it may not be that easy to move around because the cost of logistics as well is another thing you have to factor into your plans. But for single people and those who don't have much luggage, I think for short-term commitment, it actually works. So if you are the type of person that likes to explore, likes to sample new things, then this scheme will actually benefit you. Okay? So these are some of the advantages I feel the monthly rental scheme has. But on the other side, I would like us to also look at the disadvantages. What are those problems that this scheme will unleash as it is implemented? The first disadvantage is rent fluctuations. No longer are we going to have a static kind of model, a static model for rents. Rent will fluctuate. It can go high today, it can come down tomorrow. If a landlord doesn't want this tenant there, he can decide to reduce the rent so that he can get the tenant out and quickly invite new people in. The rent market is going to be fluctuating. Some of us think forex signals fluctuate. Not by the time this scheme is implemented. Rent is going to be fluctuating like mad, which is going to be a problem for landlords because they won't be able to make profit from their investments anymore in the way that they would have made it if it was on a yearly basis. So this is the first disadvantage that this brings to the table. Another disadvantage is uncertainty. In fact, there is nothing that kills a man like not knowing what the future holds. Now, with this scheme, all right, this monthly rental scheme, many tenants are rejoicing about it. But what you fail to realize is your rental future becomes uncertain because you don't know what next the landlord is thinking, what next he's planning. Are you there with me? You don't know what they're planning at all. So it now becomes a game of you're sleeping with one eye closed and the other one open. With this now, you won't be able to plan long term. You know, there will be frequent, palpitations and unrest because you are thinking tomorrow my rent can go up. By April, this is May now. Say by June, maybe demand is going to increase the rent again. By July, maybe my rent will go up, and there are just too many unsettling variables around it. So it creates an atmosphere of uncertainty for the tenants. Another thing, and this one is one of my favorites, disadvantage, is the fact that this scheme is definitely going to lead to higher rents. Now, you are paying rent at an X amount, say for sake of this discussion, 1 million naira or 500,000 naira. By the time this scheme is implemented, you'll find out that when you divide it into 12 months, the landlord will never put a rent that is going to be lower. He will only take a rent that is higher. So he will give you monthly rents that will equate to something higher than what you will have paid if you're paying annually upfront. I love the way someone broke it down on Instagram. So say you are paying 1 million and it's divided into 12 months. Whatever that gives you, the landlord will round it up to the nearest whole number, which is going to be higher on a monthly basis. So you'll be paying that. By the time you accumulate that over 12 months, what that is going to give is going to be way more than 1 million. So in the long run, you will be paying more. Yes, it will be flexible, but you will be paying more. Can you handle that, Lagos tenants? With this scheme, unlike when you run an annual rental scheme, with this scheme, your renewal becomes frequent. In fact, it's a monthly renewal, or at most probably 2 months renewal. You keep renewing your agreement, renewing your rent, renewing your rent. You understand? And it becomes tiring and cumbersome. Now you just renew once, and then that's that. You wait till after 12 months and you renew again. But with this now, it's going to be a regular thing. Kind of like you're subscribing to internet service providers. It's also something that is going to be in the agenda. So you know that by this time next month, I have to pay this again. By this time next month, I have to pay this again. So you keep renewing and renewing and renewing. Can you handle that, Lagos tenant? So you can see. Now, from my own point of view, monthly rents offer flexibility. Yes, they offer lower upfront costs and some nice benefits like I've pointed out. But on the other side, you can see that it leads to higher rents, fluctuations, uncertainties, and can be tiresome as well. So if you ask me whether it is good or bad, I'll say it all depends on persons, on priorities, on lifestyle, on who you are. It is not the same for everybody. For some people, this is actually what you need and it favors you. And for some others, it will not favor you. Do you get it now? So at the end of the day, it is up to you looking at me to make your choice and your decision. It is up to you to say, this is what I want and this is what I'm comfortable with. With this information, I believe you are equipped, you are knowledgeable a little to understand what is to befall you or what is coming ahead should this take off and be implemented. These are the things, and even much more, that have not even been mentioned that you'll be encountering once this monthly rental scheme is adopted full-time. So also let me know your thoughts. Put your own suggestions, put your own ideas as well, and let's comment about this even more in the comments section. Once again, like my video, subscribe to the channel, and also share with your friends. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.